So in this video, we're going to talk about how to have a better relationship with the material that you're reading, how you can get the most comprehension, the most amount of takeaways, and just the best experience while you're going about your reading routine. So there are a few things I like to do. When I'm reading, if it's nonfiction, sometimes I will go over it with a normal reading, and then in a second reading, I will go and underline anything I find to be relevant. Sometimes I'll even do this within the first reading if there are just takeaways that I can't live without making sure I have set aside in some fashion. So I'll underline things that stand out, takeaways. When they directly say, do this, underline those portions. Then I make sure to live with the book for a long time. If it was something that was worth reading, I keep it with me. This book on writing short films. I'm not in a stage of my life right now where I'm creating short films. I still read it all the time just because when I live with this book, there were so many takeaways on how I could better live my life as a protagonist. When you decide to stay with the book for a prolonged period of time, you end up finding takeaways in so many different ways. Books are so consolidated and condensed with information that if you just live with it for enough time, almost any book has something you can take away with you, especially one that you love. So I'll reread it many, many times. Then with whatever I underlined, I have a separate notebook that I will go through everything that I underlined and take the most important parts and write it down in that journal, and then have some separate thoughts at the end. So I reread it many times, keep it with me for years and continue to revisit it, underline things that are important to me, and then I have a separate journal where all the most important parts and takeaways and quotes that I found in here, I will place into that journal that's specifically for book reviews. And this, for me, allows me to have a relationship that's long-term with these books and really just extract every bit of value I can for them. And in this way, I think reading less books more often is more powerful than reading widely. So this is how I like to go about reading in a way that's, for me, I found to be the deepest way I can read and how I can get the most comprehension and enjoyment and life value out of books.